today, I'm talking with Tracy Smith, who is the head baseball coach for Arizona State University. And in my eyes, he's the CEO of ASU baseball. I've watched the way that he thinks and the way that he acts in that role. And it reminds me so much of the CEOs that I work with from all different kinds of business applications. And when Tracy and I met and we started talking about the application of business and business concepts and ideas to sports, I began to realize the connection that was there. And so maybe we could start, Tracy, with you introducing yourself and talking a little bit about the career that you've built over these years to land in such a cool job as ASU baseball.
So I'm the small town guy who happens to be luckily coaching at, arguably one of the best baseball institutions in the country. But I'm an undergraduate degree at Miami University, played there, coached there, was a head coach for 9 years there, built a program and having some success there, and then moving on to Indiana University for 9 years as a head coach and implementing some of these strategies and things. And then, of course, ultimately ending up here. So I was always fascinated by the intense similarities between what I do as a baseball coach and what I've done in my career and what you've done in the business world. So I've always enjoyed and actively would seek out conversations with people in the business world because, and you know this, like success is success. And I think when you look at whether it's a coach or someone in the corporate world, we're dealing with the same things. It may be a different uniform, it may be a different playing field, but we're ultimately dealing with the same thing. But the one common denominator is we're dealing with people. And, and you're not going to have success unless you surround yourself with good people. So I've always been fascinated with that relationship. That's, if I remember correctly, that's how, our conversations, and that's kind of what brought us together. And then ultimately the development of that relationship over time. But who am I? I'm a small town Indiana guy who has small town values or whatever, but takes my job very, very seriously. I don't take myself seriously, but someone that had a plan, maybe didn't know what I was doing, but that's where you come into the picture because you made me think about and put that stuff to pen to paper. So that's who I am.
And I can vividly remember some of our early conversations.
And we would have some long conversations, but I remember every single time when I'd hang up that phone, I would be like, I just feel better because it made me like this, not confusion, but these things that were maybe a little bit disoriented or not organized in my mind. You forced me to organize my thoughts. And through that process, what that did is it was a confidence thing too. We expanded those conversations into what you do in your real life, which is develop people and help them put together plans for success. I was just as intrigued as, okay, because I never looked at myself as like the CEO, but when you tag that name in that, well, yeah, you really are a CEO. I've been a head coach or a CEO of my business for 20 years, 20 plus years, but had never organized the thoughts that were swirling around in my head. If I'm the guy running my local pizza shop, I've got to develop as I expand, and maybe that, becomes a franchise or whatever. So you have to evolve, you have to become more organized, and you made me do that. And that's the part that I want to share with the world is, these concepts aren't just unique to baseball. They're not just unique to the business world. You have a really, really good system.
The other thing that is amazing to me as I've gotten to know it is how demanding the environment is and how high the expectations are. And there are some businesses I've worked for and worked with that where the accountability was daily and rough and brutal, but not many. but man, the business you're in, it's rough, and the expectations are high, and you know, and you know, and it's played out in front of everybody, and
Yep.
either we won or we lost, and either we're moving in the direction of being a champion or we're not. And
Yep.
there aren't that many businesses that where the accountability is that clear and brutal.